Welcome to episode 11 of the NerdShredz Podcast. Today I'm joined with Kami Khazix, the high-end League of Legends streamer. So enjoy. Okay guys, I'm joined here with Kami Khazix, the streamer. So Kami, first of all, thanks for taking some time out and being on the show. How about you just start off by telling people who's listening, who you are and what you do?
Hey, what's up guys? I am Kami Khazix. I am a Khazix main. So I've been playing Khazix since Season 6. And I have been ranked rank 1 Khazix on EOS through different sites for the past 3 years on different occasions. And I play League of Legends in High Diamond, Low Masters, sometimes even Grandmaster Challenger Elo. And that's about it.
Cool. So how about other games? Take us back to say the first games you started playing, how you got into gaming, and how you ended up settling on League of Legends.
I was injured from football.
Okay.
So that's how.
Is that is that soccer? Is that sorry?
Yeah.
Cool. Good.
So I got injured, which meant that I didn't have as much time to go outside and do other stuff. So I was mostly just inside, and then I pretty much started to game with my cousin, who then introduced me to Counter-Strike Source back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Then we swapped to League of Legends, and then we've been playing CS:GO and PUBG and other games. But the reason why I stuck with League of Legends was because I feel like I could actually become pretty good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like if I just put enough time into it, I would actually be good at it compared to the other games where I feel like no matter how much I tried, I feel like there's always a limit to the skill level that I could reach.
Mm-hmm. So are you and your cousin, are you quite competitive, or is he like your duo partner, your partner in crime?
No, we started for fun, just playing a bunch of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then they swapped different games, and then I basically decided to stick with League because I feel like I wanted to I guess show my competitive side a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas they still play more just for the fun.
Yeah, that's cool. So, and how did you end up getting into streaming? How did you decide that that would be something you'd enjoy?
So I started playing with some friends online, and then I got a new PC, and we made a League of Legends group that we called Danish Dynamic Queue. So you could basically make a group or a club in League.
Mm-hmm.
And basically we would invite all of our friends who were diamond and above into this group, so you could always find people to play with.
Yeah.
And then I got the new PC, and then people were like, hey, why don't you just stream so we have another spot to meet up in than only just the League club.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, I can try that. So I started streaming in Danish for fun, just with friends. And then after 2 years I took a year off school, and I tried to go full-time.
Mm-hmm.
So I swapped even language because I knew that the Danish Twitch scene is not big enough to make it, or it's very difficult to do so. So I swapped to English.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went full-time for 9 out of 12 months in my gap year.
Okay. Do you actually get Danish questions and things in your stream?
Yeah, occasionally I have some of the original viewers from back in the day asking me some questions, but I prefer to keep it in English. So I just respond shortly in Danish,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you want to more longer answers,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll just respond to them in English.
Yeah, you do occasionally see all German or all something streams, but yeah, I'm not sure how big the Twitch community would be for Danish speaking people. So excuse me. So how did so now you full-time hours just now, or is that something you're striving for, or are you taking a backseat just for school just now?
Well, right now I'm still in school, so I'm at uni now, but I took an education that basically made it possible for me to both stream and study.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it is half the study is at school, and then the second half is at home, which makes it quite flexible while also streaming.
Yeah.
So I can kind of pretty much set time every single day for study, but also stream, and then basically keep both going. But if I wanted to go full time again, it could be fun to do again, but I don't know if I want to stop my studying for it. So maybe it would be after studying. Otherwise, it would have to be if something like super insane happened
Like,
all of a sudden.
like a really good release. A really good
Like
patch.
a good team or like something that I wanted to do. Like if I finally got like some content I wanted to do and I had the opportunity to do so, then I would probably.
So talking about like teams and
So
stuff there, do you ever play as like part of a five? Because obviously most times I tune in, you're sometimes playing with a duo partner, you're sometimes, or most of the time soloing. Do you ever actually play like proper 5-man and, sweat out games?
I have played like competitively with a few different teams, but
Okay.
it's only something that I would do if we have to practice for something. So if a LAN tournament's coming up, I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I get like an invite with some friends and I want like again that competitive spirit
Okay.
and this like competitive environment, then yeah, I'd go ahead and play 5v5. But I mostly will just play solo queue, and then 5v5 will be like a bonus thing that I do like on the side just to like switch things up.
Okay. So, and how is going to try and be like professional or actually going to hard compete? Is that something you're interested in, or again, are you more just like you're enjoying the streaming and you kind of want to focus on school?
I just want to focus on stream and school. The reason why I don't want to go like professional is because it simply requires so much time. Like there's so much talent, so it's really really competitive, especially in EU. And then the fact that people are just like putting so much time in. Like pro players are putting in, if they're new to the game, if they're rookies, some of them play like League up to like 12, 14 hours a day. And I don't know if I'll be able to do that every single day. I feel like at some point it would be too boring for me basically playing
It's
every
quite
single
it's
day
quite a
like
big commitment, I suppose. You've got to give everything to it, I suppose. Is like you got to be willing to do that, I guess.
yeah, they basically only sleep, eat, and then play video games. Like, I kind of want like have more than that. It would basically mean that I have to give up like sometimes even like give up the stream, I think, but also like give up school.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's just not really the way I want to go.
I think a lot of people listening will hear that and go, "Oh, gaming, eating, sleeping, that sounds great." And in reality, like I think even playing the same game all the time can be quite monotonous, let alone like playing the same role, the same people over and over and over again, that can be quite tough, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine for like if you have like a summer vacation where you have like a lot of time to play. The thing you have to realize is that you're gonna have to do it every single day for a longer period of time than just like a month or a week. So if it's like short term, like if it's just a short period of time, then yeah, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And probably like a lot of people could be interested in doing it. But if you have to do it for like a year, that's so much time, that's so many hours that you have to put in and keep on grinding. And you can't stop grinding because the competitive spirit or the competitive environment is just so like big. There's so many good players that you're just gonna end up falling behind. So you
Yeah,
can't
they'll
stop.
they'll keep improving. Yeah, that's cool. So, talking more about like League of Legends, like specifically, or even like Season 10, what do you think about like the current state of the game and where it's at?
I think League is in a better spot now than it was in the earlier stage of Season 10, but I still think there like stuff that could be improved at. I think especially like the system as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they would improve both autofill and the matchmaking system. And I've seen like some slight improvement, but I still think that it could be improved even more because there's some games where it feels like they're just where it's basically like you go into Champions Select and the game is pretty much over because of how the matchmaking basically works.
Mm-hmm.
On top of the service being really, really bad for EU West, like it's just laggy all the time because of everyone playing right now because of quarantine.
Yeah, it does feel like everyone is
So
playing just now.
it makes it like kind of impossible because I don't see why Riot is allowing people to play ranked when everyone's playing on like 70 to even like 100 ping compared to 20. Like it's not even the same game anymore if you're lagging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've noticed the same. Like, although I'm not playing like super competitively, but my ping will literally go from like again I normally sit around 40, 30, and now it's up to like 80. And as far as I know, my ISP is still doing their job. It's just servers are overcrowded, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like my ISP is also fine, but when everyone is just playing, it's like a certain time a day where everyone's just online and then servers go down, so you have to play like middle of the night to have a normal ping.
Yeah,
And that
it's
just ruins like your sleep schedule. But besides that, I think champion wise and like the balance like changes, I think are pretty good.
mm-hmm.
It's only like some slight adjustments that I would do.
What changes would you make?
I would make solo lane XP a little bit less, simply so that there's only a 1 level gap between the jungler and the solo laner for your like mid or top,
Okay.
and then possibly a 1 level difference between bot lane and jungle. So basically, top laner and mid laner can only at max be 2 levels ahead of bot lane, and at max 1 level ahead of jungle, like on average.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right now I think top laners and mid laners can even get like 2-3 levels ahead in the mid game. And even bot lane are going to be like same level as the jungler most of the time, even though they're sharing XP.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it could be a good change. And maybe talking a bit more specific, how did you land on? So I've obviously seen you play a good variety of heroes, like obviously Kha'Zix being your most played, Karthus, Nunu, Mundo and stuff. Why do you land on these champions? Is it just because they're in the meta, or is it actually because you just really like playing them, or?
So for Kha'Zix, it's just because I like playing him, and I don't think that Kha'Zix is a champion that's never good to pick. I always think that he's fine. So he never goes like to the scale where he becomes bad. I think he's always viable.
Mm-hmm.
But it's either gonna be him being like meta, but then if he's meta, then he gets really often picked and banned. So that makes the play rate like really, really low, and then you basically have to play other stuff, which I've like experienced in the past.
Yeah.
Or if he becomes not in the meta, then he's still gonna be like on average still fine. So the champion itself is good. Then it's just like how good you are at the champion that really matters.
I mean, it's like Kha'Zix as well. Like for me, I think he's quite entertaining to watch because, like, I won't spend too much time watching other streamers, but watching someone that's solo lane that's just farming, for me, it's a little bit more like tedious compared to watching like there's a couple times I'll flick on your stream or someone else who's playing a hard carry, and when they're like 15-0 or 15-1 and they're just taking on everybody, it's just so much funnier to watch like someone like, again, Kha'Zix's a good example. You just jump into their side of the jungle, you get 2 kills and disappear. I don't know, just seems more entertaining,
Yeah, it's fun being a carry, but in season 10 it's also like that the jungle is not always like the biggest carry role, so that basically means that you have to also pick other champions.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the champions that I play at the moment, I play still Kha'Zix, but I also play Graves. Graves just got some recent buffs, and I actually enjoy playing him. And then I have been just meta abusing Olaf and been practicing Lee Sin and Gragas because they are both seeing a lot of play in higher elo.
Yeah.
So it's like a mix of having champions that I enjoy playing for the fun and also like mechanical aspect, but then also having like some champions that are just really strong in the meta that can secure me a win if I just find the right like matchup for them.
Yeah. Do you actually watch, like, say the pro scene, for example, or even maybe other streamers that are really good? Do you ever watch other people and learn from them, or are you more like, I will just try my own thing over and over until I know what's right?
I will pretty much like focus on myself with self-improvement, but at stages I'll feel like there's something that I'm missing out, or if I feel like I am not really playing at like my best and I feel like I'm underperforming, I'll start like doing some research and search up like the best like junglers that there are, but also like the competitive scene, also checking like the ladder, check the top junglers, what like their champion pool is, what they're building, stuff like that, and then like slowly find like my way back into this like high peak performance that I'm always aiming for.
Okay. And I just mentioned there, do you act with other streamers, or do you like consume other streamers?
I enjoy watching mostly the junglers from NA. So I enjoy watching Tarzan a lot.
Okay, yeah.
I think he's really, really good. That's basically like the inspiration I got from Graves. This is really good at Graves, but he also like helped me out with Kha'Zix, and he gave me some tips and some builds that I should try out, and that basically like made my win rate increase a little bit as well.
Okay. And if you were to, I don't know, say just now in the current meta, like say one tricking somebody, who do you think would be the best to like, for someone just to start up playing League to one trick it as high as they possibly could, who do you think would be the best?
For what role? Like for jungle?
Sorry, yeah, for jungle.
If you're just starting for jungle, I'd probably say Warwick until you get around like diamond level, and then from diamond level and above I'd probably do Olaf for solo queue.
Okay.
And then if you really want to like either go like competitively, or if you're like having a duo or you get to like super high elo, I'll do either Lee Sin or Gragas, simply because of like the early game plays that they can make,
Mm-hmm.
and basically like the kind of like early playmaker that can control the early game and put whatever lane behind that he decides to camp.
Mm-hmm. And so just as well, just to switch a little bit there. Obviously, you were saying you stream the pro scene of League of Legends, and you sort of do that. I don't know how to describe it, but I call it like bingo, but it's not really bingo. It's like almost like gambling without having money. The points system that you do with your stream. Can you explain a little bit about what that is?
Like on my stream?
Yeah. Or is it
So,
someone else's stream you watch? I thought it was your stream that you do, isn't it?
like there's the channel points and there's the Kami points, and then there are the points when you're watching the pro play. There are like 3 different point systems.
Sorry, yeah, the points watching the pro play. That's the one. Sorry, I was meaning.
Oh, so it was basically a company that reached out to me that was asking me if I wanted to stream pro play.
Mm-hmm.
So usually you're not allowed to stream pro play unless you have like permission from, I guess, Riot Games, and they're not really giving permission to that many people, because they have like their own like management team and producing team that's like stands for the entire like LAC and LCS streams.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically reached out to me and asked if I wanted to watch pro play on stream with my viewers, and I was really interested in doing so. So right now we're watching LAC games, and basically how it works is you have 9 corners, so you're gonna be picking 3 players from whatever team you prefer to get kills, and then another 3 players from whatever team you want to get assists. So you're basically aiming for what player is gonna be either getting a lot of kills or assists. And then on top of that, you want to be picking what team you think are going to be getting the Drakes, Rift Heralds, and Barons, and what team you think are going to be getting the Towers and Inhibs, as well as picking the team that you think are going to win. And then depending on how well you set up your board of the corners and how well the players are performing, you get a higher score. And then depending on the score you get more coins back from the website. So it's basically like a betting website pretty much, but with their own
currency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, I've seen it quite a few times. Is it live data? Can you change it like when you're in game, or is it you pre-decide everything?
No, you do it pre-draft. So you pretty much have to like look at the team's performance and basically guess what the team draft is gonna look like. So you pretty much guess before you even go into Champion Select what team and what players you think are gonna be like performing the best.
Okay. And do you have a team that you like follow or support, or is it just you just like all play?
I've been watching mostly the top teams in LEC. I think those are like the most interesting ones. So back in the day, it used to be Fnatic, but I've been watching G2 mostly, and I think G2 are pretty much like the most interesting team to look at because they have so many different like ways of playing the game. They have so many champions that can play, and that basically makes them able to do like insane drafts. It's really, really fun to watch. But they had a pretty disappointing game yesterday against Mad Lions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably say G2 if I had to choose like a team.
Yeah, I'd say like they're quite interesting. They play different, and even sometimes like it doesn't matter who they're playing against. That's a good thing. You'll see a lot of like top tier teams, and they'll smash lower tier teams, whereas G2 will crack out like different builds, different plays that keep it interesting, but they'll literally maybe go behind a little bit and then they'll come all the way back and like win a game. It just makes it more entertaining to watch, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's good. But so yeah, I didn't actually say at the start, but also my stream has like a little bit of a fitness element to it as well. So I was just gonna ask, what do you do if you do anything to stay in shape, or maybe like healthy eating or something like that?
So I used to do it last year. This year I haven't really been doing it too much, but I very much like to. But there are just so many different things that I have to like look at and basically put time and effort into to make things happen. But staying in shape is pretty good, and I advise people to do it, even if you're just gaming, because it can increase your like gaming performance, like your reaction time, and basically like the amount of like hours that you can stay focused and basically aim for this peak performance. So I think it's really important to eat healthy. Also, like when you're playing, it's important that you don't play on like empty stomach, that you have warm hands, that they're not like super cold, that you have water next to you that you can always drink from and like stay hydrated throughout like an entire game. So stuff like that is really important.
do you have like a set routine, things like that you maybe warm ups, maybe the wrong word, but something to like get you ready to stream?
I'll usually like I have like some set rules that I do. So if I have like a bad day or if I'm worried about something, I will not stream. I'll probably not like play in high elo. But if I do decide to stream, like if I'm having a good day, I always make sure that my hands are warm, and if they're not warm, then either I'll take like a shower, I'll drink a warm cup of tea or something like that to make sure that my hands are warm,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll basically do like some different, uh, not warming exercise, but like there are different websites to check like how you're mechanically doing. So it would be like some aiming, it would be some
Oh, that's cool.
like some training programs basically before you go into the game to make sure that you like mechanically have like the fingers like placed correctly and that you're capable of moving like your mouse at a pretty decent accuracy so that you're making sure that you're mechanically well prepared going into the game.
Oh, that's cool. I never even considered stuff like that. I mean, so you're saying as well, like obviously you used to play football. Was that something you were quite competitive about, or was it just something you did to keep fit as when you were younger?
At first it was just strictly for fun, but when I put like more hours.
Sorry for the interruption, guys. Kami Khazix's PC actually blue screen for a little bit here, so let's jump right back in. You were just saying how asked how competitive you were playing football as a kid, or was it something you sort of played for fun?
At first it was strictly for fun, with friends, but then the older I became and the more hours I put in, it became more and more serious. And then I wanted to go pro, and I actually got the opportunity to do so, but then I got injured a few months earlier, before the opportunity was gonna start. So I was basically going to like an academy football team,
Oh, that's
but I
cool.
got injured, and then I didn't get like back in shape before it started. And then I just like went down in like the level. I didn't take it as seriously, but then I got another injury, sadly the same year, and I couldn't really recover fully from that one. So I knew that even if I wanted to go like pro, I wouldn't physically be able to because this injury wouldn't like fully be able to recover.
It sucks. And I mean, because I'm from Scotland, so football's obviously quite big here as well. And for me, playing competitive sports, again, like football, it's a good way to keep fit in the fact that I almost forget that I'm doing cardio because I'm so competitive and so into the game. You almost forget you're running around. But say football in general, do you think you carry some of those like competitive traits over to, games and stuff?
Yeah, I basically have the mindset that I pretty much like I'm a competitive person, but I just need one thing that I can be competitive at. I don't need to be competitive at everything, but I just need one thing that I can be competitive at, and I can get like my competitive spirit out there and like show like what I actually like capable of doing.
That's cool. And so what about just talking about like the future? Are you planning to focus on more your streaming and school side of things, or again, do you want to try and diversify into like playing more with these teams you're practicing with and stuff like that?
So right now it's just like going to school and growing the stream, but I have the goal that I want to try and go to NA, try to go and get challenger in NA, from unranked, simply because that I've seen a lot of NA streamers coming to EU and doing the challenge, and I've even seen people go to Korea and do it, but I've never really seen anyone go ahead and do it on NA. And I already know like most of the streamers on NA, so it'd be really fun to again like show or see how good I am compared to them, see if I can beat them. So that's the goal that I have, but it's kind of difficult to do while also having school, simply because of like basically having to still study and also like try to get to high elo. So I want to like see if I can find a few, like I'm aiming for having at least 2 months to do this challenge, and that's possible with summer vacation coming up if I finish all my exams. But I also need a place to stay at, so there's like a few different things that I have to like do, and yeah, basically like have to figure out before I can actually attempt to do this challenge and go to NA and see if I can get challenger.
Can make it, yeah. Do you think there's a significant difference to all the different regions in like standard of play?
So I've played on EU West and EU Northern East, and I can tell that on US and Northern East there's a big difference. And then I've played on NA from EU on 120 ping, but only to like diamond level because that's like the only level I can get to on such a high ping.
Okay, yeah.
And also there's like a little bit of a difference. I'll say that US is the best out of the three.
Okay.
And then there's actually a pretty big gap to both NA and Northern East, but I'd say that NA is like number 2, and then Northern East is not too far away from NA. But that's how I would rank those
Rank
three.
each ones. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so Kami, normally to finish off, what I normally do is so when I normally stream in, I'll say that I'm going to be doing a podcast with yourself, and people then can ask questions. So it's just like a quick fire question round of just loads of different questions that are not really related. If you're up for doing that.
Yeah, sure.
Cool, sweet. So first question is there any new game releases you're looking forward to?
The new the Riot Games game, the FPS game, I think it's called
Oh,
Valorant.
Valorant, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that game.
Yeah, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. There were, if you watch streamers, you could potentially get beta keys dropped off of streams, I think.
Yeah, I saw some people get it.
Because there was a few of my mates, I think it was like 7 or 8 of my friends watching it, and one of the guys who isn't really a massive gamer got it, like the most part-time one, so a few of them were a bit annoyed. It's quite funny. But, okay, that's cool. So, if you were to play for any professional league team, what would it be?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be fun just choosing like the best one, but just joining the best one, it should be the easiest, right? But if it didn't have to be the best one, I would probably join. I'll probably join Misfits.
Misfits, okay.
EU.
I mean, if you take a team that's not in the best place and take them up to be the best, then surely that makes you look like you're the carry, right?
Yeah, like it's a mid-tier team right now, or almost top-tier team. So maybe getting that team to top would
pretty
be
good.
kind of insane.
Cool. Favorite fast food?
I'll probably do pizza.
Pizza? Okay. It's actually like, I can't remember if it's Denmark or Sweden. Is it Max's? You ever had that before? It's like a fast food chain.
I don't think it's
No?
in Denmark.
Maybe it's not Denmark, maybe it's Sweden actually. One of my friends has it all the time. I just thought maybe Denmark might have had it as well. Never mind. Energy drink or coffee?
I'd have to do energy drink. I don't drink coffee.
No coffee. Totally the same. Do you actually take like energy drinks or any stimulant before you stream?
No, usually not. Only if it's like a long stream or if it's like something special planned. But on an occasional stream, no.
Do you think it makes you worse?
No, I don't think. I've seen some people say that like so many drinks has like, brain like improvements. Like it basically improves like your focus or whatever. Some ingredients, but I don't really feel like.
Never feel it. Because it was the same as like, I remember a while back it was they would test people for like Adderall and stuff like that because people were like abusing it if they didn't have like is it ADHD or ADD. People were taking it anyway because apparently it's obviously really good for your mental focus. So I don't know if they still do that, but they used to test that in pro level league, didn't they?
I haven't heard of it, so
Have you not?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe not. I'm sure someone had mentioned it a while back, but maybe it's changed since. I'm not too sure. If you were to rework one league character, what would it be?
Rework character. It would have to be like one of the original ones, but some of them already got reworks though.
Yeah, the fiddle one was just went live, hasn't it?
Yeah, Fiddle just came out. Volibear's coming out soon. Wukong came out. Maybe something like Ashe. I don't know. I feel like Ashe is such an outdated champion.
Yeah, she is. She's like one major change, but still, yeah, she's meh. What about most annoying league character?
100% Yumi.
So it's funny, like I've asked a few people that it always seems to be Teemo that comes out. So people think he's just the most frustrating thing.
Nah, it has to be Yumi. Like Yumi in lane is not too bad to deal with, but once you get to late game, I've never seen it like it's just like she heals so much. Like it's like having an AD that just has Bloodthirster and like full build,
I
but he doesn't
constantly.
even need to auto attack in order to get HP. It's so obnoxious, the healing.
Yeah, I get you. I get what you mean. So, if you weren't to play a MOBA, would you rather play a first-person shooter or MMO?
I'll probably do first person shooter.
First person, cool. And finally, the worst video game that you've ever played.
Oh, the worst one. It was an FPS game, but I can't remember the exact. I think the game was called Combat Arms.
Combat Arms. Yeah, Google.
It was an FPS game. The game itself was actually not too bad, but the issue was that there's so many hackers in the game,
Ah, right, just
and
ruined
no
it.
one really did anything about it. And then the updates were not really satisfying. So, like, once you played the game for like a while, there wasn't really anything like major happening in order to keep like the game interesting.
It looks a little bit like CS, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of like CS, but they're like different mode. There's so many different game modes in it, but yeah, it's just like there became too many hackers, and then it never got updated, so it kind of like felt meh.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so and just finally, Khazix, what we normally do is just to give something a little bit back to the community or whoever's listening. If somebody else was trying to achieve something similar to what you've done and have a successful stream or be the level of player you are for League of Legends, what advice would you give them?
So for streaming, I'd 100% say that you need to make sure that you create good content. Like make sure that the content that you're creating, that you actually put like some effort into it and already like thought of an idea instead of just like doing the same content over and over again. And then making sure that the content is not only like published on Twitch, but published on multiple platforms. So it would be YouTube, it would be Twitter, Instagram, on different Discord servers. Basically making sure that it goes out to more people than just on Twitch, because on Twitch it's really only based on viewers, like how many viewers you have. So the more viewers you have, the more new viewers are coming in, since there's no like really good search function. So that would probably be the best tip for
streaming.
Twitch.
And what about to reach,
Fair stuff.
say like your level of play? If someone wanted to, I want to be really good at jungle or I want to be really good at League of Legends, what advice would you give someone?
I would 100% take inspiration from the players who already achieved something. I'd basically see like, again, look at like the top ladder, look at the professionals, look at the high ranked streamers, basically like start from there, see what they're doing and try to like figure out what you're capable of doing. You're not mechanically gonna be as good as them, and maybe you don't have the same champion pool, but there's definitely like some things that you also can do like they do, and then from there you just like build on top of it and maybe find like your own like play style from this like inspiration that you got. So just like look from players who already achieved something.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, some good advice. Thanks for listening, guys. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like and subscribe. It really helps me and the channel out a lot. And it also keeps you up to date with all the new guests too. Cheers. See you.